Good morning. It's your boy Stankysocks. I'm the struggling producer. This is them Diaries. I think this is the fourth entry today. A thing that was on my mind as I woke up this morning is I seen a post on Twitter and it was talking about I seen it from BeatStars and it was talking about what's more important in as far as music marketing is concerned. Is it the networking? Is it the advertising? Is it, the creative process, or is it something else? And I would say, and a lot of people voted on it was the networking, which I do agree. And I guess this is what I want to talk about this morning. That kind of gets crossed on my mind is looking at networking a different way. Like for me, I grew up very shy as an introvert, and I said a lot of people I'm around a lot of people that talk. Like in my world outside of music, everybody and their mama talk, and I'm not really that much of a talker. So and you kind of just like you don't because you think you're just the only introvert. Until you get online and then you realize a lot of, especially musicians or anybody that makes music, a creative person, a lot of creative people are introverted people and just trying, I think the hard thing is whether it's online or offline is just to be able to communicate effectively. And what I mean is just getting straight to the point and not so much as hey, buy my beats, but really being able to you would think, okay, if you're introverted, for instance, and when you meet another introverted person, you should be able to more click with them on a more basis because you have that in common. I'll give an example. Like I used to work a job at Amazon, and in my position or where I was at, I was supposed to train the next person that's gonna replace me, which I don't mind. That's life. You understand that you're only somewhere for a short period of time and you're supposed to train that person. And what I really noticed is that he was very introverted, very shy like myself, and he didn't, even though at that job I had to be more outgoing because we are dealing with people and that kind of sense. And you realize is that just trying to get him out of his shell and and the struggles of him not wanting to, and he wanted to be him, and like I don't want to be in the front ground, I want to be in the background. And I understand that because as a producer I like more the background thing than being out in front or even in front of the camera. But I realized that for people to get trust me and to get to know me, they got to see my face. They got to see what I look like. They got to see what the room is all messed up. Of course, I got the video game stuff in the back because I do the sports channel and the movie reviews and stuff like that as kind of a way to be able to open up, to learn how to open up, how to talk to people offline and online, as far as trying to, hey, check out my music, but also realizing that part of networking is taking interest in other people, and whether it's a relationship you're trying to get with a girl, you're trying to build friends outside of online or the social media aspect, is that it's really about taking interest in other people. And as I said in the first journal, diary, or whatever, is that it's all about really being able to bring value to other people. And that's how your brand really expands. It's not so much about you. It's not about I make these dope beats and I'm struggling on this novation trying to learn how to use this groove box, just kind of trying to grow as a producer. But because maybe I want to get into the electronic world, or mix electronic music into my hip hop, just kind of just thinking about different ways that I can sit there and bring value to an artist or just people in general. I said that it isn't always about David or about Stinky Socks. It's not a Stinky Socks world, but just really thinking about that and how to build on that. Like I look at networking for me as a weakness. I said I think that's something it's not so much of being polite and kind and courteous. I do that. Um, I do listen to a lot of other people's music, and not just stuff that I listen to when I'm doing, writing the reviews for my website, but also listening to a lot of people's stuff on SoundCloud, because I don't want to be that person that just likes something or heart something or thumbs up something but never comment on how I feel about it. And I think a lot of times that's what we do. We just look at social media. It's like, oh, I can just, oh, I heard it, but never tell somebody why they like it. Like, why do I like your song? Do I like the vibe of it? Do I like your lyrics? Do your lyrics touch to me? Um, like I was on Twitter, and I'm listening to an artist, an up and comer dude, and his lyrics really did hit to me. Is where he's talking about, just a goldfish in a small pond or something like that. It was just just how his wordplay and how he was hitting it together. And it's just like sometimes those things, tell a person what you like. Being able to comment on that, and that's part of the whole networking process, is building those relationships and really working on you. I said, to see, like, for me, this is to see, I think through music and selling beats online, I see a different part of myself, of something that as far as, I really like the marketing part of it. Like, I didn't think I would like the marketing part. I really love the marketing part of it, and I never thought that I would really like marketing like that. It also makes me look at, like I said, the relationship part, not just on social media, but how are my relationships offline, and how can I, you know, get better at it. It's not so much that I need to work at McDonald's to get better at, social interaction, but how would I use, whether it's a job, whether it's my interactions at the grocery store, whether it's the gym or whatever, how do I, you know, connect with people, and on a real basis, not some BS thing, and because I'm looking for them to bring something to me, but how can I bring value to their life and really grow, not just as a producer but as a person. So this is kind of was on my mind about the whole networking, trying to get better at it, and also just understanding that, just personal growth sometimes it may not be valued in monetary things. Like, it may not be, as a producer, you want to, I gotta get that beat sale, and that's validation as far as, as your beats are good enough to sell in the marketplace. But sometimes it's the small little things. It's sometimes, like, when I be making beats, and I'm just like, and I'm work and getting better at making bass lines, just simple bass lines. Like, that's something I've always struggled with. Like, sometimes I'd either use a loop, or I chop up a loop, into little pieces to make a decent bass line, or I wouldn't add a bass at all. I'd add some, 808 or something to cover up, for my bass. But just seeing the little small increments of stuff as far as growth is concerned, and those little small battles, because those little small battles turn into big battles. I don't have too much more to say on just the networking. It's just something I know I need to really work on even more so, online and offline, and really try to bring back, like I said, this is probably going to be the theme when you come to these videos, and I'm talking about, it's just, how do I bring value to other people? How do I bring value to the fans? How do I bring value to my own family? Instead of just looking at what I can get from somebody else, how do I give back? And really, I think it's more joy to give back than it is the whole part of receiving. That being said, my name is Stankysocks. Thank you for watching The Struggle Producer. I think it's diary, right? Yeah, I title it diary, not journal, but it is kind of a journal and a chronicle into, I think a lot of times, just what's on my mind. I think a lot of times when we see these videos and we get excited, seeing our fellow producers, and they make, and they're killing it, and they're crushing it, but then we don't see that other side, or we don't see the up and coming and how they got to that point. A lot of times we see where they are now, and we don't see the cookie crumbs of how they got there, or we do because of YouTube and stuff like that, where we can see the chronicles of where they were and how they came up, and understanding that all our paths may be different in certain ways, but then there's certain things that, yeah, that are similar, and we're trying to get in. Those of us like myself trying to at least, I just want to be able to just bring value and just enjoy what I do. I think the music making process sometimes kind of gets rough because you're thinking about, I gotta get to sell, I gotta get to sell, and that can also affect how you make your beats. But if I was to more focus on why I got into this, it's because I love making music. I think that's first and foremost, is that I love music. I love listening to music. Music has been a very big part of my life throughout my life, whether it's records been playing when I was a little kid, to going to the record store and getting records at, Michigan State, and just all kinds of different things like that. But that being said, I said thank you for watching or listening to this struggling producer diary 4. Like I said on the other ones, I don't know if it'll ever be another one. Maybe it'll be one tomorrow. But until then, thank you for listening and watching. Peace out.